Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. I'm really excited about this tip of the week. I had a blast putting it together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to take circles, any size, and straight lines and put them together, making your own unique pattern. So let's take a look at some templates that you can buy. These are made by June Taylor. I haven't opened this one yet, but it's 1 inch up to 5-inch circles. Now, if you don't want to buy them, or you can get them at Joann Fabrics and Crafts, you can go on the internet and get them. But if it's not in your budget, let's take a look at some items in your home that you can use to make circles. Here is a plastic bowl. I got this at a store, probably like Dollar Tree or Walmart, and they're really cheap. And I use this one a lot in making items. And then here's a little plastic salad plate. This one you could use for making pot holders. In many of my tutorials, I've shown you how to make a circle, but I have a lot of new subscribers, so I'm going to go over very quickly how you would make your own custom size circle. I want to make one that's 6.5 inches in diameter. Remember, diameter goes from side to side. You divide that number by 2, and that gives me 3 1/4 inches. And I'm going to be folding some paper, and then I'm going to draw a line that's 3 1/4 inches from this point right here. So take your paper that's larger than the size of the circle that you want to make, fold it in half, and then fold it in half again. So then you would take a ruler that you might have, and here is my 3 1/4 inch line right here. I'm going to put the point of the ruler right there, and then I'm going to go along here and just mark where it's 3 1/4 inches all the way over to there. Then I'm just going to cut it out to make my own custom size circle. And when you unfold it, here is what you have. A lot of my templates I like to use over and over again. So trying to trace around paper under your fabric, the paper starts to tear, it wears away very quickly. So I like to trace my templates, whatever I'm making, onto cardstock. Now those of you who buy fat quarters, don't throw your cardboard away. I have a stack of these because they are very useful for making your templates last a lot longer. Now I'm going to show you how to make an oval, and that's very hard for me to just freehand draw. It never looks like an oval when I'm done. So I'm going to show you how to take 2 different size circles. This is that 6.5 inch circle. I'm going to put it down on paper, and then I'm going to take my 3 inch circle and I'm going to put it up here. Now I like to draw those lines. Let me show you this real quick here. See how I have a line going through here and here on both my templates? I like that because it helps me to line everything up and keep it centered. So taking this 3 inch circle, I'm going to go up here and place it there. Now right now it just looks like a snowman with a little head, doesn't it? Well, what you want to do is trace halfway around this circle and halfway around this 3 inch circle. Then once you have the lines drawn, so here's part of my lines, you're going to take a ruler and you're going to line it up on the edge of the circle up here and then draw a line. I'm going to go over here and draw a line. And then you can kind of clean up your edges a little bit if they're a little bit jagged. But when you're done, you have an oval shape. So now I'm going to take my large circle that I cut out and this oval that I created, and I'm going to show you how to put a little Easter project together. So take a 3 inch circle, and again, you're just going to draw halfway around it. And now I want to create a rectangle at this end. So I'm going to place my ruler up here, and I want to make it, 5 inches long. So I'm going to place my ruler against this edge, and I will eventually draw along that side over there. So I'm up here at the top of my circle, down towards the edge this way, and I'm going to draw down to 5 inches right there. So now I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to repeat that on the other side and draw a circle, or excuse me, draw a straight line this way. And now I'm going to connect them. Now for what I'm going to make, I also need to curve this corner right here. So I'm going to take my other circle, and I'm going, or my 3-inch circle, and I'm just going to create a curve along here. So I'm not going to need this little point. So I'm going to be cutting this out. And for what I'm making, I'm going to need 2. Now you're going to need a long piece of paper, longer than 12 inches. And you're going to draw that half circle up here at the top. So draw around from point to point there. And then you're going to draw a little line here and a little mark there. That's 4.5 inches apart. So I went 5 inches down from the top here. Where's my 5? And I went out 4.5 inches, put a mark there and a mark there. And then I went down 12 inches from the top. So that's where you're going to need a longer ruler. 12 inches from the top. And then I drew a line that's 2 inches wide. So now it looks like this. So now you're going to draw a line from here down to here, and then go over here and do the same thing from the 2-inch line, draw up to the little mark that was here on the side. Then you're going to draw a mark from here to here. And line it up. And then do the same thing here and line it up. And then you're just going to sort of soften it a little bit. Just kind of take the sharp point out of it, and you're just going to kind of round it. Now for this project, you're going to need to cut 2 of these templates out. So you would just go ahead and cut on these drawn lines. This design is going to be a little large, so I like to trace my designs onto poster cardboard. You can buy it at Walmart, just large sheets of very thin cardboard. But they're very, very helpful when you're making patterns. So I'm first going to lay my circle out, my large circle, and I'm going to bring it down this way towards this end. Then I'm going to take my oval and I'm going to place it overlapping the oval onto this. Now I'm going to take those 2 little weird things that I made earlier. I'm going to place it here like that and place the other one here. And I'm going to put these little weights here. It kind of holds it down so that I don't lose all the pieces. They don't slide around. Then I'm going to take these 2 templates, the one I just made, and I'm going to put them up here and here. And I'm going to overlap them quite a bit. In fact, I'm going to bring this down just a little bit more because I have it a little high. Put that there. And put this one back here. Now, I'm always being asked where I get these, and you can go to a big hardware store chain and you look in the nut and bolt section and they have these. These are about 3-inch square. They're great for holding your pattern pieces down. And so, what do you think that looks like? So, of course, it's an Easter bunny. So now I'm going to take some more weights that I have holding these down. And then you're going to take a pencil or pen, whatever you want to use, and you're going to trace around this, all the way around. So after you've gotten it traced, you want to cut it out. And I like using my rotary cutter. It is so much faster. So I can just cut right on top of those drawn lines. So your template should look something like this. Now you can have your ears farther apart if you want. You can have one ear down, flopped over. You know, you can create your own personality, but I'm going to show you how to stitch this up really fast. You won't believe just how quick this is going to be. So I have fabric here that's about, I think, 7/8 of a yard. And I'm going to fold the back sides of the fabric together. So the selvages are over here. Lay your template on top. And again, don't be afraid to use your weights to hold it all in place. Then you can either go ahead and cut around this template with a rotary cutter, or you can draw lines and then use scissors to cut it out, or a rotary cutter. After you finish cutting out, you want to pin all of your edges. Now, right now, this is going to be backwards of what you're normally used to doing. Instead of looking at the back sides of your fabric, the not so pretty side, you're going to have the back sides of the fabric facing each other. So this is the pretty side here and the pretty side here. You're going to leave an opening at the very bottom edge of the bunny. And you're going to start stitching here. And over here I've got 2 pins, and you'll stop stitching here. Stitch a 3/4 inch wide seam. I'm using polyfill stuffing, and you'll use a lot. This little pile won't really cover much area in here. But when you're using polyfill, you want to take a chunk of it, and then you want to break it up into smaller pieces. If you don't do that, it's going to be really lumpy and bumpy. Then you're going to take a piece, and through your opening, I'm going to move this just a little bit. You're going to go through the opening down here and insert it inside. You're going to push it all the way up to your ears first. I like using this. You can buy dowels at Walmart or Joann's, and you can cut it down to a size you want. So look in the area where they sell all the little wood products. And I use this. I go through the opening and I stuff it and push the polyfill up in here. This area right here, where the ears connect to the head, you want to make sure that there's a lot in there. Otherwise, your ears are going to flop over. Then once you have it completely stuffed, then you want to go down here to the bottom and finish stitching it up, that 3/4 inch seam. Now, this is how my rabbit turned out. I like that country look where it's very folk art type. And I took some raffia and tied it around the neck. You can use ribbon, but I really like this. It looks very rustic. If you look closely at the edges here, I used pinking shears to make it look like that. And all I'm doing is just trimming the edge, because see, a lot of my pencil markings are still showing. So this helps to cover that up. And you just go along. You're taking like about 1/8 of an inch of your fabric off. And like I said, you can either do it before or after you stitch it together. Remember that oval shape I showed you how to make? Well, I made a little bit smaller template and I made little Easter eggs. Now these right here have the little pinking shear edge, or you can just turn them with your pretty size of your fabric together, stitch a 1/4 inch seam, clip the edges, remember those little clips you do all the way around the edges, and then turn it front side out, stuff it, and then use a ladder stitch to stitch up the bottom, to stitch the clothing after you stuff them with your polyfill. And you could, don't forget to use your embroidery machine to make a little sign, eggs for sale, and then if you wanted to, you can even put your little rabbit and make a cute seasonal decorative basket. I hope you enjoyed this tip of the week and that you learned something new. So when you want to create a pattern, what you want to do is just look at whatever the object is that you're trying to duplicate. Look at all the different sections and see what that little shape looks like. Then create those shapes of those different areas, overlapping them to create your own design. This little bunny, stuffed bunny, really was a very quick project. The sewing is so quick, especially since you have these little pinking shear edges. It was just great. So if you like country decor, try making something like this. Now, I didn't have enough raffia to put in my basket. I ran out, so I cut up brown paper in really thin little pieces and created my own little raffia for a basket. Now, if you're interested in looking at more tips of the week, scroll down below your YouTube screen to the description section. So you want to scroll down, click on Show More or the down arrow, and it will expand it open. And then scroll down a little more and you'll see all kinds of tutorials listed there. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.